All right, Shalom. First off, I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders, a great millstone, and Shalom to the Akim out there preaching his word in truth and sincerity. This is Brother Shamar coming back with another lesson. And this lesson kind of going to be brief, but, it's more so to the point regarding, Jake need to, take this thing more seriously as far as this, being part of this truth, this ministry, being part of a servant of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, because for Jake come into truth, and you think that is good enough just knowing that you're an Israelite when that's really not good. That's just the start of it, so to speak. When you come into this thing, it's like a full dedication, man. Like you're literally, you're like, well, matter of fact, I'm gonna grab it real quick. I think I read it in the last scripture, but I'm gonna read it again in this one. I mean, the last lesson. But this is Romans 12:1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, which is your reasonable service. So, what are you supposed to be doing? As far as if your body is a living sacrifice. It ain't like you literally sacrificing yourself getting put to death, right? Even though it's going to be some men that are martyrs for the truth, you're sacrificing yourself in the sense of how the other scripture says, as you losing your life to find it in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. So you're dead to this world. Like your life is non-existent, so to speak. All right, because your whole duty, your whole purpose is to ultimately serve Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. That's the reason you have this body. That's what you're supposed to be doing. That's part of the living sacrifice. All right, and that sacrifice comes with a lot of things that you're going to like and a lot of things that you're not going to like. Part of examples being when you're around the brothers, all right, it's cool, it's good. Right, Jake laughing, shooting the shit, whatever, right? Sipping a little bit if you do that, all of that. But then it's the parts where it's the bitter, because the scriptures speak about that, about the roll was sweet in his mouth and then your belly bitter. So it's sweet. Some points are sweet, some points are bitter. All right. But you have to take in everything, man. All right. It may bother you or, at first or at times you having to sacrifice your time, literally, you may want to go do something else and then you got to drop all that and go handle something in the spirit or go, be with the bros. That doing certain things for a brother may inconvenience you, but hey, if you gotta do what you gotta do, you have a responsibility. All right, and it may feel as an inconvenience, but hey, that's really a demon. All right, fuck your convenience. Like the scriptures say, man, you're supposed to be a living sacrifice, man, and you're gonna have to make sacrifices in His truth. All right, and a lot of them, the sacrifices that you have to make, the reason it's a sacrifice is because 9 times out of 10, it ain't, first and foremost, it's not easy, as well as it's going to be sacrificing things that you normally wouldn't want to do. All right. Yet, that's what's pleasing unto Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. You actually doing those things, man. All right. That's you making your body a living sacrifice, dedicating the time, dedicating, your energy, your whole mind, body, and soul for this truth, for real. Not just saying it, but actually doing it in deeds and actions. Because it's one thing to go out there for camp. That's just one day. But what are you doing every other day outside of that? Are you hitting the classes? Are you, being in the scriptures, watching videos? building yourself up in the spirit so that you can build other brothers up in the spirit, being around the brothers, being a brother to other brothers. There's a lot more to it, man. All right. But that's part of the sacrifices that you got to make. Now, this is over next scripture I wanted to hit in Sirach 5 and 7. Let me make sure the audio on real quick. Okay. Yeah, this is Sirach 5 and 7. It says, make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day. For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance. That's right, man. So make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, man, and put it not off from day to day. Don't be all lax with it, because that's how Jace get. You come in initially on fire, being on point, and then you get lax. If nobody's on your ass, nobody constantly reminded you, being on top of you. But that's the whole point of being around the body, around the brotherhood, because it keeps you zoned in on the task at hand, which is the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. But then when you're not around that energy, around that spirit, or being abounding in the spirit, as the scriptures say, what happens? All right, now you're starving your spirit. All right, because if you're not feeding your spirit, what are you feeding? Because it's either one or two things. All right, nonetheless, whichever way you want to try to paint it, it's either one or two things. Are you either feeding the flesh, or you feeding the spirit? So which one are you feeding? And then based off of which one you're feeding, you're going to either starve or satisfy the spirit to be able to abound more in the spirit. Because if you're not feeding the spirit, you're starving it. And what happens when you starve? If you're starving, you'll die. And that's how it is for you spiritually, man. You over here not even feeding your spirit, being in the spirit, doing anything spiritual, really. You know, in your leisure time, as the scriptures call it. So then, what the hell are you doing? What the hell are you here for? You know. You putting it off from day to day, and then next thing you know, a week then pass, a month then pass, a few months then pass, and then time just the time is being sped up, man. So time is flying quick, and if you ain't utilizing the time that we do have, the little time that you have in your free time and whatever to be in the spirit, to be around the brothers, all right, to do the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, then you tripping, because we in the times where you need to really be locking in, man, because Yahweh Bashem Yahushai can come back at any moment, literally, and bring judgment. And Jake think it's a game. Like you could just skate on by or do the bare minimum and get by. This ain't fucking high school, man. This ain't elementary. This ain't middle school where your ass can fucking pass with a C or a D. No, man, you need to be fucking flying colors, straight A's. All right? You need to be above average, striving for that at least. All right? Because every brother got their different measure of faith, but that doesn't mean that you're supposed to be bullshitting. All right? Whatever your capability is, man, you're supposed to be striving to be beyond that, man. Striving for more. Don't just settle for less. Because like it says, suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security you're going to be destroyed. You all complacent and comfortable, thinking that it's good, that nothing going to happen to you. The next thing you know, what? Judgment taking place. Or you out of there, you kicked out. And then you all bugged out, wondering like, oh man, where did this come from? How did this happen? You've been doing hella shit. It built up to it, It wasn't like you just did one thing and it happened. No, man, you had a whole fucking laundry list of shit that you probably didn't did. But you didn't realize it because you wasn't in the spirit. So you wasn't using discernment. You wasn't examining yourself. All right? You wasn't even making your body really a living sacrifice, man, because You're here to work, man. All right. I'm trying to find the one that fuck. It's a lot. I know it's in Matthews. I just can't think of it right now, top of my head. Yeah, Matthew 9:37. Yeah, like I said, we here to work, man. Let me see where I want to start at. Yeah, I'm gonna just start at 36, but the point is in 37. It says, "But when he saw the multitudes, he was moved with compassion on them because they fainted and were scattered abroad as sheep having no shepherd." Talking about well, I'm gonna start at 35. And Yahushua went about all the cities and villages, teaching in their synagogues and preaching the gospel of the kingdom, healing every sickness and every disease among the people. But when he saw the multitudes, he was moved with compassion on them because they fainted and were scattered abroad as sheep having no shepherd. Then saith he unto his disciples, the harvest truly is plenteous, but the laborers are few. And that's right, man. All right. The harvest is plenteous, but the laborers are few, man. It's not everyone out there willing to actually put the labor in, put that work in, put the time in. All right. Because it's a lot of work to do, to be done. All right. Because you'll have dudes out there that be like, man, I don't know what to do a lesson on. I don't know what to talk about. Or I feel like I'm going into the same thing. Oh, well, it's plenty of work to be done, man. Plenty of things you can speak on, plenty of things that you can actually do, you know. But it's few men that actually want to put the work, put in the labor. All right. And it says, "Pray ye therefore the Lord of harvest that he will." Pray ye therefore the Lord of the harvest that he will send forth laborers into his harvest. And that's what you're supposed to be, man. We not, GMS doesn't need people who not a laborer, basically, who not working. All right, this is a working body, not a stagnant body. All right, we got a job to do and things to do to be done, and there's always something to be done, day in and day out, man. So if you're sitting here making Terry, putting it off from day to day, you not in the spirit. And then the more time that go by, like it says, putting off from day to day, because then days gonna pass, weeks gonna pass, and then you don't even realize it at that point. You're already out of it, because you're not even fucking having no type of discernment, or no type of discernment or thoughts to examine yourself, man. That's why the scriptures say to examine yourself. Matter of fact, I'm gonna grab that. All right, this is 2 Corinthians 13:5. Examine yourselves whether you be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves how that Yahushua is in you, except ye be a reprobate. And this is what you're supposed to constantly do, man. All right. Constantly examining yourself. Am I moving correctly? Can I be doing more? Am I doing too much? Do I need to really cut this off over here to put more time in over here in the spirit? Am I really locked in and putting in, being on point like I need to be? You gotta examine yourself, man, and be real with yourself at that. Don't fucking bullshit yourself, because that's only gonna do more harm to you. Now you getting, you getting cursed out, rebuked, exhortation, and then if you keep fucking around, get you out the camp. All because you ain't examining yourself and you being a reprobate, ultimately. Because if you don't have the discernment, the spirit of discernment to look at yourself and discern whether you're on point or not, then at that point, are you a fucking reprobate? You might be. If you can't even discern the fact that you fucking up, because you're supposed to know yourself better than anyone. And if that's the case, shit, you need to fast and pray and get yourself right. If you can't even tell when you fucking up and falling off, man. Because the scriptures say a righteous man falls 7 times, but he getteth back up. I'm not quoting it verbatim. The reason you're able to get back up, though, is because you have the spirit of discernment to know that you've fallen off. And if you can't even discern when you've fallen or not, how you going to get back up? So you got to get right, man. Examine yourself. Don't make no tarrying and be on point, man. Because the times that we living in, man, it's time of judgment. Shit be happening all the time out here, man. And you seen different accounts and stories happening. So this ain't the time to be fucking around. All right? It's the time to really lock in and be on point, man. And show that if you really about this truth, man, be about it. Don't say it in word. Show it in deed and in your actions, man. And you don't need to do it to be seen of men. And do it for yourself, man, because you have to seek out your own salvation. So when you're doing these things, man, you should be doing it to please Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, not to be just so that the heat can stay off of you, so that brothers ain't on your ass, so to speak. You should be genuinely doing it because you want to be pleasing unto Yahweh Hashem Yahushai and a profitable servant unto Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, profitable unto the body. All right? And so with that, I'm going to wrap up and give all praises and glory to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders, a great millstone, and Shalom to the Akim out there that believe in his word. Shalom.